I'm a little worried that I haven't received a news alert for an obituary today. My latest victim, that twin woman, had her photo timestamped to 9:01 a.m. this morning. If my method worked like it had the last few times, then she should be well and truly dead now. She should have slit her own throat, or someone mysterious should have come along and slit it for her. It's not like I've managed to identify how Corpse Girl's powers works. I'm no closer to figuring out why her victims die. All I know is that they do die. And yet, I can't find any matching obituaries for the day. I've tried searching manually, too. I can't always rely on my automatic filters to get it right. I've scoured every source I can find, and I have come up with nothing. It's possible that she hasn't killed herself yet. It's possible that she's planning to do it. Or maybe someone else is still plotting to kill her on Corpse Girl's behalf. It's also possible that this time a victim won't die. Depressingly, that puts me back at square one. My winning streak will be over before it begins. Before it really begins, if the Corpse Girl has no effect. Okay. Depressingly, that puts me back at square one. My winning streak will be over before it really begins if the corpse photo has no effect. I make a mental note to discard the burner phone when I get home. I somehow forgot to get rid of it on my way to work, being so absorbed in my strict morning routine. But it's not too late. Barely 24 hours have passed since I sent out the photo. I'm not straying too far from my modus operandi.
Oh, you came. Mad.
The familiar halting voice snaps me out of my thoughts. Kojiro stands before me wearing slightly cleaner clothes than the last time we met. It's very possible that he interpreted this meetup as a date and decided to wear his absolute best outfit. The smell of the morgue is only faint upon him, thanks to the desperate cover-up scent of strong cologne.
Hi.
Can I sit?
Please.
Fuck off. Kojiro pulls up a chair and sits across from me. He's relaxed. I would love in a situation like that. You ask them to coffee, they agree, you show up, you go, "Can I sit?" And they go, "No." And they go back to whatever they're doing. And then you just stand there very confused. Kojiro pulls up a chair and sits across from me. He's relaxed and awkward all at once. His tall, lanky form doesn't really seem to fit in with the tiny, cozy cafe he selected as our meeting point.
No, not really.
Great. Ordered yet?
No. What do you recommend?
House blend. Fantastic. They roast it here. Also, the chocolate gâteau is amazing. I'll order 2 slices.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry. Coffee is fine.
Roger that.
The waitress eventually comes around and Kojiro places the order in fluent French. I think the waitress is taken aback as she bows politely and humbly asks him to repeat himself in Japanese. Once our order is settled, Kojiro leans forward and looks into my eyes. I subconsciously reach a hand to my face and check if I'm indeed wearing glasses. Of course I'm not.
No? Why would you say that?
Kojiro leans back casually and shrugs.
Maybe you had them on last time.
Last time? Is he referring to when we met at the library?
Worn glasses. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just making conversation.
That's a weird fucking conversation.
This place is great, right?
It's true that the cafe possesses a quiet, comfortable atmosphere. The smell of freshly roasted coffee lingers in the air, and the display of various cakes in front of the counter doesn't make me ill. Now I'm wondering if it's perfect fluent French. How would we know it was actually perfect if neither of them speak French? And, neither of them speak French. And, how do we know? I can make out the faint sound of acoustic music in the background with vocals in what I presume to be French. All in all, it's a nice place. Kojiro chose well.
Is this place expensive? I just don't have much money, that's all.
Don't worry. It's on me. How's work? The bank,
Excuse
right?
me. I cock my head to the side. Did I ever tell him what I do for work? I don't recall saying anything on the subject.
I work at the head office for Temujin, not in an actual bank.
That's so. Huh. Read your profile wrong.
I relaxed somewhat at his explanation. Of course he would have read my noise profile before meeting up with me. That's pretty normal. I don't keep much personal information on there, but it's true that my workplace is listed. A conversation is put on hold as the waitress returns with 2 cups of coffee and a single slice of chocolate gâteau. The cake is delicate and moist, and my stomach growls in betrayal of my convictions. Kojiro thanks the waitress in French, and once again she bows in embarrassment and takes her leave. He scoops up a section of cake with his fork and holds it out to me. I wave a hand politely and shake my head. He takes a bite and looks immensely satisfied with his choice of
Eat if
dessert.
you wanted. Your skin and bones.
Do not say that to a woman, even if she's not skin and bones. I have guys who will say that to me, and I'm like, I am over 150 pounds. I'm good. Like, this is not... this is fat when it's not... This is fat and muscle when it's not flexed. But, you know, it's not... It's not skin and bones. I hate when guys say that. But I feel like they think it's a compliment, like they're calling us skinny, but I'm like, no, buddy.
Excuse me?
Just saying, could stand to gain some weight.
Fuck you, man. She already knows. The nerve of him. Who would say that to a young woman?
I'll have you know that I eat perfectly well. Think...
Whoa. Sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude. You're gorgeous. Just saying, like wouldn't hurt.
I would be getting up and leaving right now. I'm gorgeous. I feel a little flushed and I look down at my phone so to avoid Kojiro's warm gaze.
Please.
I reach for the cup in front of me, more due to the pleasant aroma than Kojiro suggested, and I take a sip. It's been served at the perfect drinking temperature, and it's absolutely delightful, rich, delicate. I could drink this all day. I've probably been wasting my time drinking canned coffee. This is the real deal. For the first time since Kojiro arrived, I smile.
It's wonderful.
Right? I like your smile.
This guy is really laying it on thick. I didn't come here to be swooned, still. The praise is kind of nice, even if he's just trying to play me with the oldest lines in the book. I figure I should switch the subject to encourage him to stop flirting.
So, how long have you worked in the morgue?
Wow. Good question. Okay, let's see. 34 now. Started there at 22. Damn. 12 years. Never thought about it. Shit, I'm old.
No, not at all. You're older than I expected, but really, it's no big deal.
How old are you? Can I ask that?
I don't mind. I'm 20.
Phew. Okay. Right.
Is that an issue?
No, of course not. You're mature for your age. Or I'm out of touch.
Or you're a pedophile, no. Or you like to manipulate young girls. That's usually what it is.
You're out of touch.
I can't help but giggle.
Okay.
He laughs it off, but I wonder if
Would
it
you
did
date an
hit a
older
nerve.
guy?
And there it is, straight to the point. How do I answer a question
Good
like that?
question. I've got no issue with age, but I don't really know if you're my type. And if I can be honest, there is someone I have feelings for already.
That's so. Unrequited love, huh?
Something like that.
Props can't compete with that. Well, that's okay. I mean, you're stunning. Out of my league. Thrilled to be friends if nothing else.
Friend sounds nice.
Mad.
He raises his coffee cup and a toast, then takes a sip. Maybe I had him wrong. He might be a bit more mature than I give him credit for. Girl, don't know. This is where your naivete is going to show. If he can take rejection without pressing the point, that speaks a lot about his character. No, it doesn't. It really fucking doesn't.
So, corpse girl. Interesting, right? How does she do it? The photos, the killings, all without knowing the Vic's name.
Yeah.
Wonder what her death count is.
3, 4 if I'm lucky. I try not to say this aloud.
Car crash. Was it planned? Cut the brake line. Drugged.
I have no idea. Sorry.
But you requested his death.
Yes.
I did lead him to believe that. I'll have to continue to go along with it.
No personal reason?
That's right.
Brutal. Don't request my death, okay?
We'll see.
His face lights up, almost as if he's impressed with the ambiguous answer. Excited,
Maybe I
even.
should try the site. Request a death. Know anyone who deserves it?
Sorry, not off the top of my head.
Neither. Maybe you should request me. I'm dying to know how it goes down.
You know, maybe you shouldn't mess with this stuff. What if you really ended up dead?
I can protect myself. I mainly want a corpse photo. How does she do it? Oh, by the way, you read that book I gave you?
You mean Strange Flower?
Bingo.
I'm halfway through it.
Wow, fair effort. It's long. Thoughts?
It's interesting, I won't lie.
No, Belle Sinclair is a sicko, right?
Right. He's not all there.
Neither are you. Or him. Most people in this game don't seem to be all the way there.
Halfway through, huh? So, has he dined with the dead?
Yeah. Who was it? His school teacher, I think. He dug up her body 2 days after she died and then dressed her in his mother's Sunday best.
Yeah. Took the corpse out for Italian? I can imagine the waiter's reaction. Ah, classic.
Kojiro seems to really enjoy reminiscing about the book. The story is definitely interesting, but the way he's laughing at it makes me a little worried. Then again, the guy works in the morgue, so maybe the whole scenario is just comical to him.
That's it there.
Takes me a second to realize what he's pointing at. Sure enough, the book is in question is sticking out of the
That's
top
it
of my
here.
bag.
I want to show you a funny passage.
I nod and reach for the book. I pull out the massive tome from my handbag with a fair amount of effort. The book comes free, but it snags on the bag zipper and causes some of the contents to fly out. A few personal belongings fall to the floor with a clatter. I notice my lipstick, lip gloss, notepad, and a pen hit the cafe's tiled floor. Kojiro comes around to my side of the table and helps me pick up my things. He pauses when hands grapple with another book that has fallen underneath Strange Flower.
Photography? What's this?
I quickly reach for the book and try to snatch it from his grasp.
Nothing.
Kojiro is quick and he instinctively avoids my desperate grab. He holds the book aloft and continues reading the cover.
English? A comprehensive history of photo manipulation.
He returns to his seat and flips through the pages as I finish packing my belongings away. I bow my head silently, waiting for his judgment.
You can read this?
Only a little.
Oh, this is tough. My English isn't good. Thought it was French at first. Oh, these images.
Kojiro suddenly snaps it closed and
Figured
looks
it
at me.
out.
I brace myself for his inevitable
Corpse Girl
accusation.
fakes the photos. The photos aren't from the future. Like that was ever possible. Photo is fake. Timestamp is fake.
He's correct, but will he go back to assuming that I'm Corpse Girl?
Why do you have this book? Are you editing photos?
I mean, I have an interest in it, but that's all.
This book is old. Doubt the techniques are useful anymore. Still, it's interesting. My theory. Thoughts?
About Corpse Girl faking the photos?
Bingo.
I don't know. Sure, it's possible. But can anyone fake a photo so realistically?
Realistically? Do you know her photos are realistic?
Thinking quickly, I snap back with an
You
answer.
sent me that copy of Eiichi Hanada's corpse photo. The one Corpse Girl apparently produced.
True.
It was good, right? Pretty convincing.
Very convincing. Is photo manipulation that good?
I suppose if someone skilled enough was doing it.
If it's not photo manipulation, then one more theory.
What is it?
Maybe the subject in the photo is a corpse.
I'm confused. Of course it's a corpse. What's your point?
Sorry, hear me out. It's a photo of a real corpse. Just not the victim's corpse. Corpse Girl acquires a real corpse, dresses it up, just like in Strange Flower. She makes it look like the Vic. It's convincing because it's real. No photo manipulation.
Huh, I see.
Immediately, my mind starts to kick into high gear. Kojiro has unknowingly presented me with an unprecedented idea. What if Corpse Girl does get real corpses? What if she dresses them up, wounds them, makes them look like a carbon copy of the victim? Then she holds a photography session to capture the magic. The realism will be amazing. It will be way more convincing than manipulating a photo, even though I've become pretty good at that. It will be the next step up in realism. It's sure to convince victims to kill themselves. If Corpse Girl's victims can be relied upon to kill themselves, then I don't have to continually question, oh god, she's gonna use him to join the cause and like use the corpses. I wouldn't need to worry about whether some mysterious third party is wandering around slaying people on Corpse Girl's behalf. All of the deaths would be caused by suicide. It would be predictable. Conquering victims would simply be a matter of forging a convincing enough corpse replica. But the legwork involved in acquiring corpse photos would be... That's it. The answer is sitting right in front of me with a smudge of chocolate cake on his chin and an empty coffee cup resting in his hand.
Hypothetically, would it be easy for Corpse Girl to even have access to dead bodies? Legal ramifications aside, could she possibly have a source of cadavers to desecrate at will?
Yeah, it's not impossible. Take someone like me. I have the morgue. I'm there alone, mostly. Someone like Corpse Girl makes me an offer. I'd give away spare corpses, no problem. Of course, I could get busted. It's not about losing my job. I'm not going to prison. The price would have to be right. But that's just me. Employees in other morgues, well, can't speak for them.
Interesting. So you would willingly work with Corpse Girl if the price was right?
Yeah, I've said it before. Big fan. I support her work. It's fascinating. If she really is using cadavers to make photos, then, well, I'm offended she didn't come to me for help.
This is amazing. I never imagined this meeting could be so lucrative. If I want to get my hands on all the corpses I've ever needed, I can just ask him here and now. I find myself breathing heavily, and I notice that my cheeks are warm and my head feels slightly airy. It all comes down to whether or not I really want to step up my game. The way things are, well, the twin woman, my latest victim, doesn't seem to have given up the ghost. Maybe I'm being impatient, or maybe my work just isn't as convincing and powerful as I want it to be. Then there are the cases of the previous victims. Akane Tsurumaki killed herself, there's no doubt about it. But Eiichi Hanada, it's highly possible he wrecked his car truly was accidental. I may not have had a hand in that after all. Ruri Hatano, my first ever conquest, the cause of her death still eludes me. There's no way she could have killed herself in the position her body was discovered in. She's the whole reason that I started suspecting someone else's involvement in the first place. After all, there's one definite suicide, one potential murder, and one death that was an accident, or a traffic collision that happened to coincide with the date I wanted the victim to die. Statistically, there's no way to know how Corpse Girl's powers actually works. It's almost like deaths are just caused at random, and when you pile on the countless failures I've encountered over the past year, well, my success ratio isn't very impressive. If I could truly compel victims to simply kill themselves, then it would take the guesswork out of the whole thing, that's for sure. With Kojiro's help, I could acquire cadavers and make them look like my victims. The work would be completely different to photo manipulation. There will be gore involved, no doubt about it, and it'll take a steady hand, some makeup artistry, and access to clothing props. Then there's lighting to consider and backdrops. It's one thing to take an image from a database of the deceased and have a corpse splattered on the pavement ready to go. It's an entirely different thing to have to drag a body out of the morgue and plant it in position, then take photos of it. There will be a lot to consider here. It's not a decision I can make lightly. And on top of that, I doubt I have the courage right now to ask Kojiro straight up for his help. But if I do go for it, I'm absolutely positive it will lend a massive amount of credibility to Corpse Girl's mission. The extraordinary realism will pave the road ahead of me with blood.
Finished your coffee?
Oh,
I quickly take a sip and drain the cup.
that was delicious. Thank you for that.
Very welcome. Shall we head off?
Yes, let's.
Any plans for the night?
Yes, sorry I can't hang out longer.
No problem. I had fun.
Kojiro stands up and conjures his wallet. He leaves a few bills at the table and then steps toward me. I stand up to him, playing my best hand. I quickly lean forward and plant a soft kiss on his cheek. The maneuver is surprisingly difficult thanks to his height, and I don't think I pull it off as gracefully as I had planned.
Thank you for the date. Will I see you again?
I give him my best alluring look as I bat my eyelids gently.
Yeah, of course.
He slowly rubs his cheek with tender fingers, amazed that I just kissed him.
Bye-bye now.
I spin and make a beeline for the exit. Girl, chill. I hope my trembling legs don't betray me as I step into the pavement outside. It's not in my nature to try and seduce somebody for my benefit, so much so that my attempt at it left me feeling rather queasy. I don't know if I pulled it off, but now that I have left the cafe, I can't look back to see what effect I had on Kojiro, if any. I cross the road and a shiver runs down my spine. I hope I'm prepared for what I'm getting myself into. Dun dun dun!